Welcome to Mystic Interview Season 2. Today we'll be interviewing two brothers, a businessman and a doctor settled in USA. Sit back and enjoy the journey of their lives. Today I'm sitting with two great personalities. Dr. Digvijay Singh. Hi sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good
Devika,
afternoon.
how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
And Mr. Manjot Singh. Hi sir.
Hello, Devika.
How are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you doing?
Great. And how is India treating you?
India has been treating us wonderful. We had unfortunately come on a trip for our mom's last rites, but otherwise it has been a very exceptionally good 14 days.
Okay.
Same here, not the time you want to be here because it's for mom's last rites. We are here to perform those, but experience has been great. Okay. Families, the support from family and friends has been amazing, and that make the trip and the pain much less for us.
Okay. And it's a tribute to your mother today. So starting with you, how has your journey been as a doctor in the US?
The journey, I went there in 1988,
Right.
and I started my internship over there in Cleveland. It's a 3 years internal medicine program. After those, I did my special training in pulmonary critical care and interventional pulmonology, and that was at Tulane University, New Orleans, from 1992 till 1995. And I was blessed to have that opportunity because at that time, interventional pulmonology was a new thing budding out in the United States, and I was one of the 15 interventional pulmonologists in whole of United States.
Okay.
So the journey from that, after I started practice for 22 years, and now I'm dedicating my life to the veterans who serve in the US Army and US forces, and serving them as a professor over there, teaching the fellows interventional pulmonology over there.
Okay, that's amazing.
Thank you.
What about you? About your journey in business world?
I moved to US in '96, and that's when I started my own business there.
Okay.
Which I am in the recycling industry.
Okay.
Always wanted to be in something to do with international trade, and that always I had a passion to do something more on the trade, international trade, and recycling always attracted me because it helps the environment,
Right.
and that's the reason I got into this industry. And since '96, I have been in this industry. And in different recycling ventures,
Okay.
from metal recycling to electronic, which creates a lot of environmental hazard.
Okay, okay.
So those are the kind of things, and we kept on adding on different things and doing different things. That's how I started in this.
That's incredible, sir. And who inspired you to take up this profession?
Interestingly, through my different stages of life, initially my dad and mom
Okay.
were great inspiration, and around my 8th or 9th grade, our neighbor Dr. William Ribeiro, who was a amazing personality, we had a nice access to his house at that time.
Okay.
He had a huge library of books, and he was a voracious reader. Not only that, in the evenings he would just sit down and talk and make all those complex political and medical concepts in such a nice form. So he was quite a big inspiration through my early years of choosing medicine.
Okay.
And through my medical life, I have had exceptionally good teachers and professors over there. Few of them which I can name is Dr. Roger Bone was one of my person who inspired me to go into interventional pulmonology. And then there was Dr. R.N. Jones. With him, I did research on extracting human lung fibroblasts.
Okay.
So it has been multiple people through multiple stages of my life.
Okay. Okay, that's amazing. And what about you?
The inspiration mainly, it's not from someone that I got, but
Okay.
it's just that I wanted to be in the business.
Business.
part.
Okay.
So my family has always been in the services, but I wanted to be in the business.
Okay.
And one of the things that always attracted me was the recycling, how you can take the old and recreate, you reform it and make new product out of it. And learning more about it, you found out that it helps the environment, as mining is depleting all the mineral resources.
Right.
And also mining is making a lot of pollution hazard for our earth. So when you recycle, you're creating new product from the scrap metal, and that was one of the things that I thought it was a really something that's helping the environment and keeping the earth green.
Yes, I think that's a very good initiative, and it's a good business as well. And sir, coming to the challenges you faced. Since you're from Jammu and Kashmir, you're from India and you're settled there. So firstly, tell me the challenges you faced, when you went there in 1995, I think. So what were the challenges? How difficult was it for you?
Going out there, I personally, I didn't face a lot of difficulties. I think maybe lucky that I had people or support of the people that were very helpful.
Okay.
So that made it much easier for me. But so that was, maybe I'll say I was blessed, or that I didn't have to face a lot of hardships.
Hardships, okay.
And so, but on the other hand, going from here, because we still are from Jammu. So our heart, this is a place where we have grown as children. We have families and friends that we have grown up with. So our heart is always here. So that is how we come back here. We want to spend times and enjoy the time, and but talk about our old days. So the only thing that coming in the last 22 years is, one of the things that bothers me is the Jammu used to be a very clean city.
Yes.
So, and the traffic wise, we used to feel proud when we used to go even outside in Delhi or somewhere. It was a pride when we would tell Jammu is a clean city. And our traffic, people obey traffic. Those are the two things which I feel that things are getting worse than in the last two. There's no improvement.
Yes.
So. And a lot of times we see people are blaming, we don't have, people do this or that, but we have all to take responsibility ourselves.
Okay.
And make it happen, get the feeling, it's our city. It's like how we clean our home clean. We have to take responsibility, all of us together, and try to see how we can improve this.
Right.
Environmental is one of the big hazards which we see, and environmental hazard becomes a health hazard.
Yes.
That is why we are seeing more and more illnesses related to environment.
Exactly.
So those are the things which we need to, so moving forward, the coming generations can have a better place to live. Jammu, it was always a great place, so that is what we're looking. So if we can all take responsibility and everybody take a little bit, it starts with the little and then grows up. So rather than just saying everything happens in a day, we have to take one step at a time.
Yes.
Another thing is traffic. That's also something which is more on personal level, because everybody who drives have to take responsibility rather than saying nobody obeys the rules.
Exactly.
So if we do that, follow rules, just all of us take a pledge. We have to make it happen.
Yes,
and that is how it will improve.
It will improve.
Because that's what we want to see, because we always want to come here and even bring our future generations. And we want to have them come here and feel proud about it and show them how this city is. The good parts of
the city. So give 3 tips to the youngsters today. How can they keep our city clean, hygienically, and how can we have better traffic rules? So just 3 tips to the youth of today.
Traffic rules are basically for patience is one of the very important things. So one of the things we see here, people lack patience. If traffic, you have patience and wait for your turn and obey the traffic rules, everything works better. When you're impatient, you're trying to pass everything on, then you create a traffic jam or a haphazard area. So that's one of the things. Secondly, on the cleanliness, it's like your home. How you keep your house clean that's how your city is.
Yes.
In the home, we don't just take garbage and throw on the streets or on the floors. You go and put it in the garbage can. Same thing is with the city. if you treat your city as your home, it will always be better than that.
Better than that. And Jammu is a beautiful town. If you see, it's a beautiful place, but unfortunately, there's a lot of, people are throwing garbage everywhere. So a message to the youth today.
That is what it is. The cleaner city will give you will enjoy it. The people are going to, if we see clean, you go to a nice place, you always appreciate that. Look how nice that garden is, or how nice clean that park is.
Yes.
That is the kind of feeling you will get when you look at your own city. So the cleaner it is, it's better, and the people coming who are visiting here. We have Vaishno Devi Shrine here. We have people visiting from all over India and the world. So it should be a showcase to people. So we should try to create something when the people from all over the world, they should go and talk about how organized the city is, how organized the traffic there is, and how clean the city is.
Right.
And also about the people. So how welcoming and nice the people are.
Yes. So it was a pleasure to talk to you today, and you have a flight to catch.
Yep.
So I'll not keep you back. So you can go and have a wonderful journey.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate Devika for
Thank
giving
you.
us an opportunity to talk about.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
It's
very
my
much.
pleasure. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. So in our country and even in our state, Jammu and Kashmir, deadly diseases like cancer are on an increase. They're on a rise. What's the reason? What's the reason behind it?
As far as the cancers go, there are multiple factors which make the body to develop a normal cell into a cancerous cell. Genetics is very important, but like my brother was mentioning about the environment has an exceptionally important role in the exposure to all those pollutants. Some of them are very carcinogens, and that's why I think as human beings, we consider that Earth as our mother.
Right.
Is that right? And if we want to consider Earth as a mother, it's our inborn duty to treat it as a mother.
Right.
And if we throw a garbage on any part of the place, that garbage ultimately is going to affect us in one shape or other shape. It is either going to be creating toxins, or it's going to be creating certain kind of resistant bacteria, and we are cannot live in a bubble, and we cannot be isolated and shift ourselves from that environment.
Right.
So it's so very important for us to keep the environment clean. And as you travel through this beautiful city, it's such a beautiful city on a small foothills with a river going through that. I still remember 30 years ago when I used to be here, it was the most cleanest cities around this area. And it's such unfortunate that there are no dumps of those garbage which are producing those toxins.
Right.
And these toxins, when we inhale, our body can handle that to a certain extent. God has given us mechanisms to counteract those, but when it gets overburdened, then cancer cells are going to develop. Whether it's going to be lung cancers, whether it's going to be your stomach cancers, colon cancers, skin cancers. So all those things are going to increase.
Okay.
So the best way, besides, you can't change your genes.
You cannot.
But what you can do is you can keep the environment clean, eat properly, so that you do not expose your body to those unnecessary carcinogens. So that's why it's so very important. Environment is such a very important role in cutting down all those deadly diseases.
Yes, I agree. So what about diseases like heart diseases and all?
Again, heart disease is a big factor, and Indians genetically have a high predisposition for that. Diet, exercise, your stress levels. Even when you are driving in a congested part, and if you check your pulse, you check your blood pressure, you check your stress levels before you embark on going from one place to the other place, and at the end you will realize how much stress your body has to go through. Every single day of your life, you're subjecting your body to that kind of a stress. Ultimately, your body is going to give up to that.
Yes.
So heart disease is going to be what you eat, what you exercise, and the stress. So all these three things are extremely important for your heart disease.
Okay. And so talking about the junk food, so and, talking about the junk food, and every child has a habit of eating and using the mobile phone or the laptop, watching a movie. So how harmful can that be?
Now, junk food is called as a junk food for a reason, because it's a junk food.
Yes, yes.
If it would have been a good food, it would be named as a good food.
Good food, yes.
So junk food will lead junk into your body, and body has to deal with that, and you overwhelm your body with that, you're going to suffer the consequences. As far as playing games or watching movies, my philosophy is, instead of watching other people act, why don't you act?
Yes, yes.
So travel. So my passion is traveling, my passion is climbing, trekking, boating and things like that. Increase your physical activity. And on these days, your phones use those apps to monitor your activity levels rather than watching movies.
Yes, yes.
So there are beautiful apps on that, which are health apps, which can tell you how many steps you walked, what calories you burnt, and what type of calories you burnt, whether those were from your carbohydrates or whether those were from your fats. Use the technology for your benefit, not for your detriment.
Right, right. And so, as you mentioned about traveling, I think when you travel, you explore, and you have a better vision, So you're traveling, you're a doctor, so you might be traveling to different countries. So what has your best experience been so far?
I like nature, and the traveling through Africa, traveling through Alaska, were the greatest experiences, because you are basically staying away from in the tents, staying away from electricity and all the conveniences and luxuries of your life, and experience the nature in real, wilderness. And looking at those whales, and looking at the bears and the spawning of the salmon coming up, those experiences you can watch on your Discovery Channel, but when you watch it yourself, the sights are so awesome, and those experiences just cannot be explained, and no camera has the ability to capture what your eyes can capture.
Yes, exactly.
So no camera, even with the Discovery Channel, does the justice to what you visually see.
Yes.
Like when we were watching the wilderness crossing in Africa over the River Mara, means once these millions of those wildebeest start crossing the River Mara, the whole earth starts vibrating and shaking, and those shaking you just can't watch on the screen, no matter how good your cameras, or no matter how good your photography is.
I think that's absolutely right. And sir, give a message to the youth today who are suffering with all types of anxiety, depression, mental disorders, as well as physical ailments.
The mostly, I think, is the your dream, looking for a dream. Like Martin Luther King would say, I have a dream. And I think as long as you have something to look forward to in future, whether it's for your health, whether it's for your professional success, whether it's your family security, whatever it is, if you have some goal to achieve, I think, and you make a plan to achieve, it distracts your freedom. Like used to say, idle man is a devil's workshop. And keeping yourself idle and not keeping yourself busy with positive energies, I think, will cause all those mental ailments and depression and frustration and loss of hope. And I think in India there are so many beautiful opportunities to do that. Means you can pick up any single project, and there is so much of to do. Here I think the youth is what we are all looking forward to, because I think our generation probably didn't leave you a good, nice planet, and hopefully we're looking towards you guys to show us the right way. You are our basically future
of our country. Thank you, sir. It was my pleasure to interview you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Devika. It was my pleasure too.
Thank you
and
so
good
much.
luck to you.
Thank you so much.